Lessons from animals to humans. In this part, I, Dr. Justina Agnieszka Chevalier, I would like to make you aware what causes, based on false reputation, being attacked in a forest by animals or approached for goods or food. What causes that is an assumption that you know those animals based on books, movies, relates, and instances of failure to behave like a person or an animal that is provided for, in freedom of choice, of being liked and safe, or a choice in being living in resentment that requires a struggle and non-stop watchfulness when you consume to kill or to harm. This second option is worse and instinctively not chosen by all of existing beings and animals. And that is important to learn in practice by assumption of good intentions, and when attacked by assumption that one being innocent at non pursuit of such nature is being attacked because of for example, being a hunter having a gun, or reading material that all of animal predators attack and are dangerous, and spreading such also opinions. That is important to note that often or most of the time, animals and humans alike attack in fear of being trapped, killed, or harmed. That is the most common cause. And that is also in fear of being presented as wars, that animals and humans deplete others in function to provide life-saving provisions and maneuvers, while killing by that action. And so you need to always assume when going to a forest and learn from that attitude. If you decided to do the exercise that I've planned together with the ground described in Renata Tadashi self-sustainable house called For One, and that is and patch up, and that is what I've learned in forest and in deserts, and want to present to you as questions. Questions are like as such: if spider approaches, does spider try to bite you, stumbling on you, or does this spider try to have sex because it doesn't feel that you do not have the same body and capacity, or spider approaches to befriend you and make sure that you and that spider are like-minded in success, to have no conflict and no stress, and provide for one another goods. What is your reflex when you have a crawling spider on you? And isn't that always also the case that only grabbing a flower on which bee sits while squeezing on it in fear of a bee of being dead causes that bee to sting? Otherwise, bee would not sting one, and there is no reason to kill and attack. Isn't that also true? Think about it carefully. That when you have been approached by wild coyotes, you actually have chance to befriend them, the same as a wolf man. And despite the big teeth that can be used for many purposes, do not fear and pursue friendship and use this for freedom and enablement, even though those animals have paws, of those animals to have everything that is needed to be warm, happy, and comfortable. We cannot understand the importance of that, and we go and treat animals as game, and that is not game to shoot at a mammal that feels and that is then shot, causing confusion by others in such perception, because someone says that it is bias that persons can live forever. That is not bias. The example of that is MD Cloud, who, for instance, at the age of 100 or above, had new teeth. and many such relates of person living up to 160 and longer, and only because you insist of normatization of killing and presenting others as evil, you actually cause own demise and being targeted. The same as pheasants killed upon releasing for no good purpose, then humans during German regime became by uh, bred as if farm dogs in incest and Hitler Jungen persons in hatred of an assumption of being rejected for others in same pursuit of pleasureless in disgust sex to have sin characteristic, shooting at Jews in concentration camp as if that was fun from a roof just based on movement, the same as pheasant. I am from Poland, so I know that from also my grandfather's stories. And you need to understand that Buddhism teaches it and Christianity teaches it. You have choice and you make that choice every single day. Also ignoring those videos and living as if you were actually predetermined to be dead by self or by someone else, insisting on it to kill and cause harm, while then my work and work on others you explain by offering as if coffee, sexual activity, and based on that basic needs. You need to improve. You need to start doing things that make sense and quickly, not based on font or non-stop memorying or trying to do a useless action for others. For a fee especially, presenting self as good in fact to pursue the marriage and leave everything to persons who in harm kidnap me and other human rights activists and in desperation need work and cannot use it. Because you based everything on a perception of a monetary value. If a person is dying and killing in hunger, same as animal, that person creates higher demand and makes me more useful than whoever is that you pay for money to appear as sick and dying permanently or force that on me or anyone else. And the same is with criminal labeling, to afford death perpetuation of what's called a natural, and there's nothing natural about it, a result of simple suffering and pain, which is pursuit of another life as if item in perception that self had that done before and others were done that too, and then presenting persons or groups or even communities are good or bad to target and kill in epidemiology, resulting in targeting in whole area groups based on characteristics to afford chicken so that your ass is fat and you have then coronary artery disease and you sedated on contraceptive and anxiolytic, and you take offense then because somebody wants you to plant and kidnap for it. Learn from animals also that anger indicates harm and indicates being helpless when you impede non-harmful way, not knowing it, also by impeding own education and promotion of self as a superior, not having such. Lesson here learned from animals is if you approach animal or human without a weapon, you will not be attacked, frowned upon, or not assisted. If you approach without threatening, or in instances of such presenting arguments to trap or provide lower than own or your significant other standard of living, you will not be hated for false, phony friendship compensated somewhere else with pursuit of harm in overconsumption in general at expense of others, which is what I described in that anecdote about the deer eating all the vegetables and being punished for eating meat like Buddhists, while other persons crave only residues of dead corpses and are unable to resist it, that is not allowed to kill at all, and right to understand that harming creates intent to harm, and killing results in elimination what is being killing, not what is being killed, in weakness, disease, insanity, and pursuit of harm to be then targeted and dead. And this is at utmost of my pity that I provided this video to persons of the United States, considering how many persons I approached and how little views I obtained. Good luck to you!